Top 10 Best 2-in-1 Laptops. Hybrid laptops/tablets, or 2-inch ones, offer maximum flexibility in a portable computing device. So, what is the best 2-in-1 laptop to buy? Here are AA Script's current picks for a variety of form factors, operating systems, and use cases. Although the coronavirus pandemic is far from over, vaccination and improved treatments are allowing businesses in many parts of the world to resume their normal working practices, or, most likely, some form of post-pandemic hybrid work arrangement. One consequence is that mobile professionals will once again become mobile, traveling to company offices or clients' premises, working on trains or in coffee shops as they go about their business, as well as continuing to toil from home. Increased prevalence of remote working during the pandemic drove significant demand for new devices, with analyst firm Gartner reporting a worldwide spend of $787.4 billion in 2021, 13% growth over 2020. This growth is forecast to continue in 2022, albeit at a slower pace, $813.7 billion, 3.3%. Many users will be seeking the best laptop or desktop to take advantage of the security and usability features built into Windows 11, which is widely available on new PCs and eligible Windows 10 systems. Mobile pros requiring maximum flexibility will likely be drawn to 2-in-1 devices that can work as laptops or tablets, although there is usually a premium to pay over a traditional clamshell device. These come in several form factors. Laptop first 2-inch ones look like regular laptops, with proper keyboards, but can either detach the screen section to work as an independent tablet, detachable, or rotate the screen a full 360 degrees to lie flat, back-to-back, against the keyboard section and work in tablet mode, convertible. A new convertible variant slides the screen forward to lie flat over the keyboard. Tablet first 2-inch ones are, as the name suggests, primarily tablets but can work in laptop mode via an add-on, often somewhat flimsy, keyboard, with the tablet propped up by a kickstand. Number 10 is Dell XPS 13 2-in-1. Dell's XPS 13 is our current top pick among regular laptops for knowledge workers, and the convertible variant also heads up ZDNet's list of best 2-in-1 devices. Like its stablemate, the Dell XPS 13 2-in-1 offers a great combination of build quality, features and performance, with the added benefit of form factor flexibility thanks to its 360-degree rotating screen. If you choose the entry-level $1,169.99 configuration, you'll get an Intel Core i5-1135G7 processor with integrated Iris-C graphics, 8GB of RAM, a 256GB SSD and a 13.4-inch 1610 touchscreen with full HD+, 1920 by 1200 resolution. At the top end of the price scale, $1,469.99 buys you a Core i7-1165G7, 16GB of RAM, 512GB of SSD storage and in full HD+, display. If you want the UHD+, 3840 by 2400 display, you currently have to settle for the $1,669.99 Core i7 configuration with 8GB of RAM and a 256GB SSD. The addition of 11th generation Intel processors and Thunderbolt 4 brings the XPS 13 2-in-1 9310 right up to date. However, battery life suffers if you go for a Core i7 processor and the power-hungry 4K Plus screen. Number 9 is Microsoft Surface Pro 8. The Surface Pro is a tablet with an attachable keyboard, not included in the base price, that transforms it into a laptop of sorts. It's not a laptop you can use comfortably, or at all, on your lap, thanks to the kickstand that keeps the screen section upright, but it's light and flexible and an excellent choice if you do a lot of touchscreen and stylus-driven tasks, sketching, handwritten note-taking and annotation, for example, as well as mainstream knowledge work. Note that, as with the keyboard, the stylus is another extra cost option. There are two variants of the 13-inch Surface Pro 8, both of which run on 11th generation Core CPUs, the consumer-focused Surface Pro 8, and the business-oriented Surface Pro 8 for Business, which offers LTE mobile broadband. As well as the 13-inch display, upgrades over the 12.3-inch Surface Pro 7/7 Plus include improved battery life, up to 16 hours on Wi-Fi, 14 hours on LTE, the signature keyboard with housing for the slim Pen 2 stylus, and 2 USB-C/Thunderbolt 4 ports. The SSD drive on the Surface Pro 8 is removable, so you can upgrade a 128GB or 256GB model by fitting a more capacious M.2 2230 drive. The Surface Pro 8 starts at $899.99 for a Wi-Fi only version with a Core i5 processor, 8GB of RAM, and a 128GB SSD. A Core i7 configuration with 16GB of RAM and a 256GB SSD will cost you $1,399.99, while the top-end Core i7 model with 32GB of RAM and a 1TB SSD costs $2,399.99. The Surface Pro 8 for Business starts at $1,099 for a Wi-Fi only version with a Core i3 processor, 8GB of RAM, and a 128GB SSD. A Core i5 version of this spec will cost you $100 more, while adding LTE connectivity brings the price up to $1,349.99. Core i7 models start at $1,699.99, 16GB RAM, 256GB SSD, rising to a hefty $2,699.99 with 32GB of RAM and a 1TB SSD. Number 8 is Microsoft Surface Go 3. Microsoft's 10.5-inch Surface Go 3 is a tablet-first device, with keyboard covers and a stylus available as optional extras. It's an attractive and highly portable 2-in-1. If you buy the type cover keyboard, that's well suited for mainstream productivity tasks like web browsing, email, and video calls. The Surface Go 3 is available in two versions. The standard version runs Windows 11 Home in Lockdown S mode, while the slightly more expensive for Business model comes with either Windows 11 Pro or 10 Pro. It has a 10.5-inch Full HD+ touchscreen, 220p, and comes with 4GB or 8GB of RAM and 64GB or 128GB of storage in the standard model, while the Business model adds a 256GB option. You'll pay $100 extra over the Wi-Fi only model if you want 4G LTE mobile broadband. Although entry-level prices for the Surface Go 3 are attractive, options can edge towards the expensive, a fully specified for business system with a Core i3 processor, 8GB of RAM, 256GB of storage, 4G LTE, a top-end type cover, and a Surface Pen comes in at $1,079.97. The Surface Go 3 has decent camera, 5MP front, 8MP rear, and audio subsystems, making it a good vehicle for on-the-go video calls. However, connections are limited to one USB-C port, Microsoft's proprietary Surface Connect and type cover ports, a micro SD card reader, and a 3.5mm audio jack. Performance from the Core i3 processor in ZDNet's review unit was acceptable for an affordable 2-in-1, but battery life, claimed at up to 11 hours, was slightly disappointing. Although we could watch video for the full 11 hours, working with productivity apps brought battery life down to 3 hours 15 minutes. Number 7 is Microsoft Surface Book 3. Microsoft's 2015 13.5-inch Surface Book was the original laptop-first detachable. At first glance, it looked like a regular laptop, but the screen could detach and function independently as a tablet, or be turned around and reattached, offering the tent and presentation modes characteristic of 360-degree rotating convertibles. In 2017, the Surface Book 2 added a 15-inch version, an arrangement that persists with the Surface Book 3, which launched in May 2020. As with other Surface models, the Surface Book 3 is available in standard and business versions, the latter running Windows 10 Pro and offering more GPU options. Prices for the Surface Book 3 start at $1,599.99 for a 13.5-inch standard model with a 10th generation Core i5 1035G7 processor, 8GB of RAM, and a 256GB SSD. The business model costs $100 more. At the other end of the scale, a 15-inch business model with a Core i7 1065G7 processor, 32GB of RAM, a 1TB SSD and discrete NVIDIA Quadro RTX 3000 graphics with 6GB of dedicated video memory will set you back a hefty $3,699.99. There are batteries in both sections of the Surface Book 3, tablet and keyboard, but Microsoft only quotes battery life in laptop mode, 15.5 hours typical device usage for the 13.5-inch model and 17.5 hours for the 15-inch model. ZDNet's review of the 15-inch Surface Book 3 reported achieving a full day's work on battery power with over a third of the battery left for the commute home, should commuting ever return after 2020. Number 6 is Lenovo IdeaPad Duet Chromebook. Lenovo's IdeaPad Duet Chromebook is a 2-in-1 Chromebook comprising a 10.1-inch tablet, an attachable keyboard and a rear cover/kickstand, starting at $259.99. Running Chrome OS, and with support for Android apps, this diminutive multimodal device offers excellent value, albeit as a companion rather than a primary device. The entry-level configuration runs Chrome OS on a MediaTek Helio P60T processor with 4GB of RAM and a 64GB empty SSD. The 10.1-inch IPS touchscreen has full H.D. Plus resolution, 1920 by 1200, 224p, 16:10 aspect ratio, with 400 nits brightness. There's also a $264.99 model, which boosts the storage to 128GB and adds a Lenovo UC stylus. The latter looks like the preferred option. Number 5 is Lenovo Yoga 9i 14-inch. Lenovo's Intel Evo branded Yoga 9i is the renamed late 2020 update to the well-received 2019 Yoga C940. As well as an improved 11th generation Intel Core compute platform and long battery life, the stylish-looking Yoga 9i features an excellent audio subsystem built around Lenovo's rotating soundbar, plus a bundled active stylus with on-device garaging and charging. The Yoga 9i also comes in a 15.6-inch form factor, but we're highlighting the 14-inch model, which weighs in at 1.37 kilograms. Available in a silver mica livery or as a leather-topped shadow black version with a fancy glass palm rest and an ultrasonic fingerprint reader, the build-your-own Yoga 9i configuration starts at $1,104.99 for a Core i5-1135G7 processor running Windows 11 Home, 8GB of RAM, a 256GB SSD and in full HD IPS touchscreen. You can boost this to Windows 11 Pro, plus $60, a Core i7-1185G7, plus $265, 16GB of RAM, plus $50, a 1TB SSD, plus $135, and a 4K/UHD display, plus $100. All of these options, along with the shadow black livery, bring the price up to $1,734.99. Number 4 is Apple iPad Pro M1 2021. Arguably, the most far-reaching aspect of Apple's APUC 2021 event is the introduction of 11-inch and 12.9-inch iPad Pros powered by the M1 system-on-chip, SoC. This is the same Apple silicon that underpins the latest MacBook Air, MacBook Pro, and Mac Mini. It gives Apple's tablet similar horsepower to a high-end laptop. The company claims the M1 delivers 50% more performance and a 40% graphics boost over the previous generation iPad Pro. With the addition of a Magic Keyboard, the iPad becomes a device that could, perhaps, replace a traditional laptop as a work tool. It's an expensive almost laptop, though. The M1 iPad Pro starts at $799 for an 11-inch model with 8GB of RAM, 128GB of storage and Wi-Fi 6, rising to $2,399 for a 12.9-inch model with 16GB of RAM, 2TB of storage and Wi-Fi 6 plus cellular, up to 5G, connectivity. That's before you add in a Magic Keyboard, $299 for 11-inch, $349 for 12.9-inch, and a $129 Apple Pencil. You can buy a lot of stylus-equipped 2-in-1 actual laptop for $2,877. The latest iPad Pro hardware, which includes a mini LED Liquid Retina XDR display on the 12.9-inch model, is impressive, if expensive. However, much will depend on how the software develops, starting with iPadOS 15. Number 3 is Panasonic Toughbook G2. Rugged computing specialist Panasonic recently introduced the Toughbook G2, a fully rugged tablet with an optional keyboard that transforms it into a 2-in-1 device. The Toughbook G2 offers an enterprise-grade platform based on a 10th generation Intel Core i5-10310UV Pro processor with 16GB or 32GB of RAM, 512GB or 1TB of NVMe SSD storage. It's a Microsoft secured core PC, and there's a variant with a quick-release SSD aimed at industry sectors with particularly data-sensitive use cases. Its rugged credentials include MIL STD 810H testing and IP65 certification for dust and water resistance. The Toughbook G2's 10.1-inch IPS display is sunlight viewable, with maximum brightness of 1000 nits. It's a 10-point capacitive multi-touchscreen that works with fingers and the optional stylus, with selectable modes for gloved hands and rainy conditions. As well as a selection of standard ports, there's a configuration port which can be fitted at purchase time with a serial port, a barcode reader, a USB 2.0 port, a second Ethernet port, or a thermal camera. Another configurable element is the expansion bay at the back, which can take a smart card reader or an HF-RFID NFC reader. Optional accessories include docking units, vehicle mounts, battery packs, and the stylus pen. The detachable keyboard adds 2 extra ports, USB-A and USB-C, while the desktop cradle supports 4K output on 2 external 4K displays. Battery life with a standard 50 watt-hours battery pack is quoted at 12 hours or 18.5 hours with the optional extended 68 watt-hours battery. Batteries are hot swappable, which is a key requirement for many field workers. Number 2 is Acer Concept 7 Easel. Workstation class systems in a convertible 2-in-1 form factor are not common, but a notable exception is Acer's innovative Concept 7 Easel. Aimed at graphics professionals and, in the Pro version, videographers, 3D animators, AI professionals, and many more, the easel name refers to a flexibly hinged touchscreen that supports multiple modes, 6 according to Acer: laptop, float, share, display, pad, and stand. First unveiled at CES 2020, this design idea has since been taken up by HP with the Elite Folio and Microsoft with its recent Surface Laptop Studio. The 15.6-inch screen is suitably high-spec, as you'd expect given the easel's target market, an IPS panel with 4K, 3840 by 2160 resolution, Pantone validation, and support for 100% of the Adobe RGB color gamut, no mention of DCI-P3 though. Also included is a Wacom EMR stylus with 4096 levels of pressure sensitivity. There are currently 2 Concept 7 easel models for sale on Acer's US website. One runs Windows 10 Pro on a 10th generation Intel Core i7 processor with 32GB of RAM, 2TB of SSD storage, and an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2080 Super GPU with 8GB of dedicated video memory and costs $3,999.99. The O runs Windows 11 Pro on a Core i7-11800H with an 8GB NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3080 GPU with 32GB of RAM and a 1TB SSD and costs $3,499.99. The Pro version offers Core i7 or Xeon processors, up to 16GB NVIDIA Quadro RTX A5000 graphics, up to 32GB of RAM, and up to 2TB of SSD storage. ISV certifications are also offered with the Easel Pro to reassure users that their mission-critical apps will work without issue. Number 1 is LG Gram 16 2-in-1. There are plenty of 15.6-inch convertibles on the market, but your search for anything bigger will lead you to just one vendor, LG, and its 16-inch Gram 16 2-in-1. Despite having the largest screen of any current convertible, the LG Gram 16 manages to combine good performance, relatively lightweight, 1.48 kilograms, military grade, MIL STD 810G, build quality, and, of course, 2-in-1 flexibility. The Gram 16 2-in-1 isn't exactly an affordable option, so you'll need to have a good reason for pushing the convertible format to its limit. The entry-level model, with a Core i5-1135G7 processor, 16GB of RAM, and a 512GB SSD, costs $1,549.99, while a Core i7-1165G7 configuration with 2TB of SSD storage costs $1,699.99. The 16-inch touchscreen is a high-quality 1610 IPS panel protected by Gorilla Glass 6, with 2560 by 1600 XGA resolution and support for 99% of the DCI-P3 color gamut. A stylus is also included. LG claims up to 21 hours of battery life for the Gram 16 2-inch one's large 80 watt-hours battery, and we've seen reviews reporting over 15 hours of real-world usage, which is impressive for a system with a large, high-resolution display. At last bonus is HP Elite Folio. HP's Elite Folio is a 13.5-inch 2-in-1 whose touchscreen folds forward by stages, first to cover the keyboard leaving the touchpad accessible, then to lie flat on the keyboard, enabling tablet mode operation. It's based on Qualcomm's Snapdragon 8CX Gen 2 platform, which includes both 4G LTE and 5G modems, along with Wi-Fi 6, 802.11x. The message is that this ultra-portable, 1.3 kilograms, 2-in-1 is always on, always connected, with claimed battery life of up to 24.5 hours of local video playback. With optional Sure View privacy for the touchscreen, an Elite Slim Active Pen with on-device storage and charging, a well-specified audio-video subsystem and fanless operation, this will be a sought-after laptop for the well-heeled mobile professional. The Elite Folio's ARM-based processor certainly delivers on battery life. ZDNet's review recorded battery life of around 15 hours with mixed-use workloads, but there is a trade-off in that Windows 10 on ARM, can currently only run 32-bit Windows apps. Intel x64 emulation is coming to WoW, however, and is available now via the Windows Insider program. ARM64 native apps are appearing too, and include Microsoft's Teams and Edge, and Adobe's Photoshop and Lightroom. So, I hope you liked the video. Don't forget to like, left your valuable comment, subscribe to the AA Scripts channel, and press the bell icon to never miss an update from us.